Hi, hello, and good morning. Good morning. How is everybody doing? It is Tuesday. Oh my God, January 25th already. Can you believe that? God is good, and we're so excited to be here. Today is a special day because we are bringing you, oh my God, something amazing, something wonderful. I just cannot wait for you to experience all that we have to offer today. We are debuting a new segment of the show. Let me put it that way. And it's the Author's Corner. By the way, my name is Zoe Baraka, if you didn't know already. And we're bringing you Author's Corner, and we have the most amazing person to kind of burst open or burst forth this beautiful project. And I'm so excited to have her on. You're going to see why in a few minutes. But before I do that, let me go ahead and let's, kind of share some greetings with each other. Bella to you if you are in Burkina Faso. Listen, my brothers and my sisters in Burkina Faso, what is going on? Meya Faro, eh? Let's get it together, okay? I understand, but you know what? We don't need to lose lives for what's going on over there, okay? We're praying with you. Stay safe. So yes, Ibio Kibare to you, Baraka da Zua to you, Sanunku da Zua, Yayade Yakakwana. Did you sleep well? I am so glad that you're joining us today. Thank you. Ya Ken, ya Tuma Fudua Wella, Tuma Wella, Tipose Wenam Baraka, Nite Zam to you, wherever you are in this world. If you speak Kusal, Frafra, Mampruli, we are greeting you. One of the Frafras will always say, we thank you for joining us. Ansuma Hoganya Songo, Dasoba to you, Dinle to you. Thank you so much for joining us. Ndina to you, and Wezo, if you are in the Volta region of Ghana, I greet you, I welcome you. OJ Ko to you, do you speak Ghana? It is so wonderful to see you. Thank you for joining us. Ekaro to you, and Ekabo to you if you are in Nigeria and you speak Yoruba. Thank you for joining us. Otutuoma to you, Otutuoma Nabato to you. Thank you. Emetio to you. If you're in the south of Nigeria, you speak a BBO dialect. Thank you for joining us. Ektisane Akwaba, Dan Yamawachi. We're greeting you in the Akan dialect, the Fanti, the Achim, all of that in the mix. Thank you so much for joining us. Murembe to you if you are in Kenya. Of course, Habari Yao Suboi to you. Karibu Sana in Habari Gani. Thank you so much for joining us all the way from Kenya. God bless you. Kenya, South Africa. I know you all speak Swahili. We're so grateful that you are here. Awana from the people of Sierra Leone. Mangwanani to you, and Makadii to you if you speak Shona from the people of Zimbabwe. Linjani from the Ndebeles, of course, of Zimbabwe. Nagadef if you speak some Wolof. Thank you for joining us all the way from Senegal. God bless you. We are so grateful you are here. Inyase Aloy Domilake, I am greeting you from the Bisa people of Ghana and of course of Burkina Faso. Kotong and Amohelang to you if you speak Soseto. God bless you. Akei, do you speak Creole? Naumai to you from the Maoris, and of course, Welena if you are in Hawaii. Dumela to you if you're in South Africa and you speak some sort of Sawubona to you. Oh my God, I am so glad you're here. Kotoli'i to you if you speak Fulani. Of course, Jumbo. I am just excited. Every time I'm greeting you guys, I get a pump. Bonjour to you. Guten Morgen if you speak some German. Buongiorno from the Italians, or from us to the Italians. Thank you for joining us. Dobroyo Otro to you if you speak some Russian. Bom dia. Do you speak Portuguese? I just greeted you. And buenos dias, of course. Welcome. I am so excited you're here. Now that we have greeted each other and loved on each other, I want to hear from you. Please, tell me something in your local dialect. I want to hear from you. Let us jump right in and let me introduce this amazing woman. We're here to discuss a powerful book. Oh my God. Have you ever read a book and when it ended, you just went like, why? Why did it end? I was like, I felt I just went through so many emotions, and then it just ended. I was not exactly happy at all. But let me introduce her to you, and then I will introduce the book to you. Marjy Marj, or as you know, we love to call her Marjy Marj, but her name is Marjorie Boafo Appiah. She is a visionary and a management consultant, an author, and a speaker. She is a major hyper for life. Can I tell you, I am so excited she's in my corner because, oh my gosh, she brings the fun. She is the founder of Innovation Abound, a company that gives creative ideas the opportunity and resources to flourish. Marjy is the chairman of the Hub City Writers Project Board of Directors. She also serves as a trustee at the Charles Lear Center Foundation, the Spartanburg Regional Foundation, and Spartanburg Day School. It's going to be a mouthful today, so watch out. She is also the chair of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion at Spartanburg Day. In the past, she has worked with the American Red Cross, Women Giving for Spartanburg, and the National Kidney Foundation to promote the organization's core values. I'm only like a quarter way through, okay? We're gonna, kind of try to jump, if you want to know more about Marjy, please just go to her website and you're gonna find out everything about her. But she is also the founder of Girls for STEM and a literary advocate. Marjy, the importance of representation in literature. In 2015, she partnered with her family and friends to launch the Given Book Day program. As a result, she collaborates with schools, bookstores, and publishing houses to distribute books to school-aged children. Given Book Day enlarged its footprint by partnering with Project Lit or Project Literature Ghana and Ghanaian schools to gift books by authors of African descent. Oh my God, isn't that powerful? The project is ongoing, so if you really want to be part of it, please go to her website and there's going to be all that information. Marjy is the author of the Shimmigrant, Same Elephant, and the Young Shimmigrant series. Her novel, The Shimmigrant, debuted as a #1 new release in 2019. Same Elephant debuted as a top 10 release in March 2020. The 3 books in the 2021 Young Shimmigrant series. Sasha Goes to America, Sasha Perseveres in America, and Sasha Dreams Big, a global favorite, and my favorites too. She is the host of the amazing chat show that is topping all the charts. She's in over 600 cities all around the world at the moment. Humanity Charts, a show about everyday issues impacting humans. Okay, whew. That was a mouthful. Let me tell you, if you're impacting your world, that's how your bio is going to read. I could not try to take out anything, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, like we always do, please help me welcome my personal cheerleader. I'm being famous by proxy right now. The amazing Marjy Marj. Hello. Hi, my dear. How are you?
Hello. That was humbling hearing you read all that. I am well by His grace.
Oh,
Hi, Zoe.
hi. Humbling, girl. You got it going on. Oh my God. Wow. But today we're here to she's so calm today. She brought her, I'm calm spirit today. And I'm just excited about that because anyway, this is the book we'll be talking about today, Same Elephants. First of all, if you haven't gotten it yet, I'm begging of you, please go to booknook.store and just type in Same Elephant and you're going to find it right there. By the way, today we're collaborating with booknook.store. Booknook is a publishing company out of Ghana, Africa. Woo woo! And what they're doing is they're curating books written by Africans for Africans to be read by Africans. Okay, and we're excited about that and we want to put them on the map. So please go and find booknook.store. that store. You will not regret it. They ship everywhere. I mean, everywhere in this world they do ship, okay? All right. So we're going to be talking about same elephants. Before we go in, let Marjy and her team tell you just a little bit about same elephants, okay? All right. Stay tuned. Give us one moment, just one moment.
Same elephants. An enlightening, introspective, heartwarming novel about four friends from diverse backgrounds. When Sasha and Rakia are mistaken for trespassers, the friends embark on a quest to educate their community about the dangers of stereotyping. Same Elephants explores everyday relationships, the presumptuous nature of society, and the ability to rise above prejudice. Same Elephants.
Oh my God. Did you see that? That team was tight. By the way, welcome to our guest. Thank you so much. I mean, our audience, thank you so much for joining us. Beverly, I see you. It is so good to see you. Jennifer, thank you for joining us. Of course, Big Sis Elsie, our one and only producer, we see you. Doris, thank you for joining us. Audrey, thank you for joining us. Francisca, I see you. Rael, I see you. Jan, I see you. Oh my God, there's so many of you here and I am not able to catch up. But thank you all for joining us. God bless you. And Marj, let's take it away. For starters, I'm not going to tell you about my upsetness yet, but for starters, same elephants. Why that title? Why same elephants?
Well, when I was a kid, my mom used to say, "Elephant you, elephant me," like different you, different me. So I'm a pretty basic person. So when we were thinking about the title of the book, we went back and forth with titles like "Differences Aside" and different titles. And I was like, we are same elephants. No different me, no different you. So that's the title. Just saying that we're same. We're tapping into our humanity, and so we are the same.
Wow. It kind of worked. When I saw that title, I was just like, I wonder what that means. Does she mean like real elephants? But it took me a while to kind of get it. So that was a very powerful title. By the way, stay tuned. We have a surprise reviewer and guest, in the green room that's waiting to jump in. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be an amazing time. Marj, I wanted to touch base with you. Oh my God, I have so many questions, but if you, for our viewers, if you have not, read Same Elephants before, I would say first go and get Marjy's book, The Shimmigrant, first. There is a power behind that kind of pushes you into Same Elephants that's just out of this world. So first go and get The Shimmigrant on Book Nook, and then go and get Same Elephants and then read it. And you're going to be so amazed at her simplicity in writing, which kind of brings me to that. When I was reading it, I honestly thought I was listening to Marj. Why did you approach it in that way? It was such a refreshing way. I was saying, can I see some numbers in here? And there is no numbers, and you have beautiful titles. I don't know if you guys can see the title. It's so easy to read. Why did you choose the first person language and also write it in the way you did?
Well, I write for my readers like I'm speaking. I just want you to feel me in the book, although the story is not necessarily my story. And sometimes when I'm reading and I see a bunch of letters, it's harder for me to follow the sequencing. And so I figured that I was going to write in such a way that it would make it easier for people to read the book. And that's what we did. And I like to talk a lot. As if you're listening to Humanity Chats every now and then, which is my podcast, you will notice that I talk quite a bit. And so I was just talking in that voice, everyday conversational voice.
It's so powerful. I personally have actually never read an author who wrote in that way. There's been different variations of it, but this one was, and also I guess maybe because I know Marge personally, when I was reading it, I kept saying, that's her. That's how she would speak. That's how she would actually intone in that way. It's so powerful. And I love all of the characters, these four powerful women from different parts of the world, different cultures, different religious backgrounds, and they come together and they do an amazing thing. First of all, let me ask you about Sasha, because I think that's probably one of the things a lot of people ask you. Is Sasha you?
No, Sasha is not me. Sasha is all of us. She embodies a little bit of everybody. She perseveres. She's loving. She's faithful. That's a little bit of Sasha in everybody.
Wow. When in the beginning, when, she's introduced, I read a little bit and, her backstory seems so heavy. I don't want to spoil the book for most of you who haven't read it yet, but imagine a young girl who has lived in a close circle in a village. And for those of you who don't know what a village is, especially our audience that are not African, let's say the countryside, where you're kind of protected a little bit and you're taken to a big city, but not to family. You're taken to a place where you get to do all the house chores and what you would call manual labor, really. And you're brought to a foreign country entirely, and you're also there a maidservant, for lack of a better word, and all the things that she goes through. That backstory was so hard hitting and so familiar that when I read it, I kept saying, is that her? Oh my God. But you are right. I see a lot of us in Sasha. What a powerful character. Now tell us a little bit about the other characters.
Well, the other characters in the books, well, I have said in the books, like I'm talking about all my books, my characters tend to be in the other versions of my
Yeah,
books as well.
yeah.
Um, you know, I when I was in grad school, I had a Jewish roommate,
Mm,
and when I was in high school, I had a Muslim friend. And then I had this atheist friend also in grad school. So I've known people from different walks of life,
mm,
and I just thought we all got along pretty well.
mm,
And so I wanted to tell a story where I could show that diversity and unity. And so, although it's not about those friends, because those friends have entirely different stories,
yeah.
I picked out of phases in my life where we have been, would I say, bridge builders, or been able to come together.
Mm,
And those are the characters in the book. So we have Aviva, who is the Jewish girl.
mhm,
She is a friend to Sasha. And then we have Kia. Oh my God, I love Kia. Kia is Muslim.
mhm.
And then we have you've got to read the book. You've got to read the book. Yes, we
Definitely,
have
yes.
Jane. We have Russell.
Oh my God.
Yes, yes.
Oh, don't tell me about
We have
Russell. My
Jose.
did it.
Yes, yes, yes. You got to read the book to learn about the amazing characters in
Oh,
there.
my good God. Why did you just jump me over to Russell? Because the moment you said Russell, I was like, oh, God, Sasha's heartbeat, Russell. Oh man, I think that's what really kind of took me aback a little bit. I was like, I want to know what happened with those two. That love story was just so beautiful. And anyway, you again definitely have to read the book. And at this moment, we're going to try to reach out to our surprise guest and bring her on. But before we do that, bear with me one moment. I want to tell you a little bit about Book Nook, but let Book Nook tell you their own story in their own words. How about that? We'll be right back.
Very serious question. Our kids have often asked, how come I look so different from the people in the books I read? Their homes, their food, their celebrations feel so different. Parents, we should not discount these as mere kids' questions. They often struggle with their identities. and this is crucial for their development. Let's begin with exposure. Reading brings exposure and enlightenment, but not just reading. Reading materials that resonate with your identity. Reading books by our Ghanaian authors on our heritage, our culture, our occasions, our folklore, our history, our way of life. Reading about everything that there ever was. But more importantly, reading material that are written by us.
Oh, I almost did a cheer there. I was like, woo woo! We're doing it. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce to you the most amazing person that you would ever get to talk to. Man, I am such a lucky girl. I just have a lot of powerful women around me. You don't have a choice but to grow when you have people like this in your life. Lady Abba Kato Anda. She is also an author. She's a speaker. She is a mental health advocate. Did you hear that? I was about to say something entirely different, but mental health advocate. She is a Christian therapist, one of the best people you can ever have. And she's also written a couple of books, and we're definitely going to, review her books soon on this part of To My Younger Self. Please help me welcome Lady Abba Kato Anda. Hi.
Hi, good morning. Good morning. It's such a treat and a privilege to be here. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. I will realize I was having connectivity issues, so I'm all set with my cell phone. If I, for some reason, freeze up, I'll log in through here because I got to be here.
You gotta be here. You gotta be here. Lady Abba, I'm sure you have some questions and some thoughts. First of all, tell me what you thought. What were your first impressions about Same Elephant?
Okay, first impression, it's such a treat and a privilege to actually know the author.
Yes.
And know how she speaks and communicates and the cadence of her language and her sentence structure, even in real life.
Yeah.
And then to read it on print, oh my goodness, such a treat.
World.
Wow. So you really felt like you were sitting down with Margie and just she was telling you this story.
Yes.
I think that was one. I think the second thing is truly, I was convinced that there were 4 same elephants she went to college with.
And me too.
I was convinced, and
right?
In them as well.
Yes.
Because I also, I did grad school in Canada, and I also have, in fact, I was actually thinking about my friends, my closest friends when I was in Canada, and think, okay, I have a Palestinian friend who I think I'll make Aviva. She's my Aviva. And then I have another Ghanaian Canadian friend who's I think is like a cross between Rukia and Sasha. And I guess I'm Sasha. But you have to have some Asian friends because I couldn't figure out Asian friends. So it's truly is a universal story and everybody can plug themselves in there. And it was just amazing, just they were intelligent. They had awesome, self-esteem. I really, it brought to life issues about, having a voice, looking at the community, speaking up against injustice, racism, friends. But above all, I think the thing is that what I picked up is that the things that unite us are much more than what separates us in life.
Yes.
And I think that was really an awesome conclusion to come to. I truly feel like this has to be made into some kind of not just a film or a series. Because
what I say to you, what did I say?
Because then the therapist to me was like, I want to hear more about Jane's backstory, more about Aviva's backstory, more about the guy who wanted her to marry at first, his backstory, and I could see it being all these episodes. So amazing. I don't know where it came from. I guess my question to you is, when you decided to write the book, was it just, okay, I want to write a book, I like to write, or was it that, okay, I feel so strongly about, a particular issue, be it advocacy or be it, speak out against racism, let me write and weave a story around the issue I'm trying to educate people about. Which one was it?
Well, the last one, and a little bit of everything, really. I was very intentional in my writing process. I do like to tell stories and make up stories, but I want to tell stories that impact us and our everyday lives. As you can tell from the text in the book, they did go on a protest. Now, mind you, this was before the protest of May 2020, because the book came out in March. But that was our normal, with some of the incidences, the stereotyping that went on in the book, the lack of ample publishing in the Black community, the fact that Republicans and Democrats are butting heads. I wanted to show that, you know what, you can be a Democrat and be friends with Republicans. I just wanted that diversity, the fact that we can truly be friends and love on each other, but at the same time, we can have differences. I wanted to tap into our history. We're all Black, but then our African American brothers and sisters have some stories that people that are originally from we're all originally from Africa, but the people that were born in Africa have certain perceptions that our fellow African-American brothers and sisters may not have. And so I wanted to teach us that, you know what, when you're told to get something, you, that African person, might just put your hands into your pocket, whereas your African brother and sister might think twice because someone might think they're getting something else. It's all about what we've been exposed to. So it is a book. It is a work of fiction, but it also taps on the different things that happen in our everyday lives.
Oh my God.
It was absolutely amazing. And I'm sure there's not an international person or an African person living in the diaspora, who hasn't experienced some moments, in the book. And I remember when I went to Queen's University in Canada, and on a limited income budget. And my good friend, who I said is my cross between Rukia and Sasha, she was more aware of the issues as we are talking about. I remember there was this, I don't want to use the wrong brand. I think it was called African Pride. It was like a spray for braids. If you have braids to spray, oil spray.
I have that. Yes.
It may not be that brand, but it was some brand like that. And I had used part of my limited budget to buy it for my hair. And then she came in and said, oh no, these people, there was something about capitalism and not supporting Black. And so she took it and threw it in the garbage. And I was like, hey, sister, please. This thing cost me like $8. Okay, next time I'll buy a different brand. But for now, just use it. It just reminded me when Sasha was, attending events just for the free pizza and so on at some point, but then at some point it changes, right? At some point awareness kicks in. At some point that heart for doing the right thing for the community and so on kicks in, then you begin to change. So yes, I really like that part of the book too.
It even goes down to the material that we read. As you could tell, Sasha was very excited about her John Grisham and other books, whereas Kia was familiar with the fact that we needed representation in literature, and that it was also important to support books written by people of color and people from other backgrounds. And so, yes, it is. I love the book because I think it's a very friendly way of telling our stories. And it doesn't matter where in the world you are, which country you're in. If you're in Ghana, you are learning that, maybe going to the UK or the US is not the wherewithal, and that your culture is also important. If you're in America or the UK, Canada, wherever you are, you know that, okay, maybe that person that I came across in the grocery store may not be as bad. Or like people painting certain pictures of immigrants. Oh, immigrants, not all immigrants are thieves or are rapists, or, all that is in the book. And I feel it. I cried when I was writing, and then I laughed too. I played music, was dancing to the names and the characters. It was a fun project to do, but
Wow.
then it took a lot of heart
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Yes, and I want to say this, that the point at which Sasha suddenly becomes aware of some of the issues around the Black community, it struck me in a very emotional way, because I'll be honest, that up until George Floyd, I didn't realize I was of that mindset. There's us as African immigrants, and then there's the rest of the Black community. That's us, and then there's them.
Yes.
Then George Floyd happened. I was like, wow, you know what? We cannot afford to not understand the issues. We cannot afford to not be involved.
Yes.
You know,
It kind of brings me to that point. I'm so sorry that I cut you real short, but I wanted to tie it into the issue of the incident and how you came about writing it. Again, I was emotional. I think I cried, laughed, not at the incident, but just before that, and the happiness with which the girls were going to go help their friends, do the parking and everything like that. I mean, packing and everything like that. And then at the point where Sasha is so oblivious when she meets these police officers, and she still doesn't get it, what's about to happen. She's really just saying, hey guys, what up? What's going on? La-di-da. And they're saying, excuse me, ma'am, can you step aside? And she still doesn't get it. And when they're saying, hey, we need to see an ID, she goes immediately to just grab it. But Kia is saying, why? Kia has questions. And when she goes to grab it, just like in George Floyd's case, Kia makes sure to tell them she is going into her pocket or wherever it was she had grab this particular item you just asked her for. She's not going to grab something else. And then I got a jarring thing, because I suddenly thought about Diallo in New York, who was shot 41 times. And then my heart started to, and the confrontation that happened. And of course, the character Sally, it was an emotional read for me. And of course, it brought George Floyd in. And it's funny you wrote that in March, almost like a soothsayer. We were not ready for what was just about to happen in 2 months. How did you arrive at that whole powerful scene? And for those of you who haven't read the book, I implore you, grab the book. And if for nothing else, just for that experience, you will be so amazed at how elephant you, elephant me, we are really just so the same. But yeah, to the question, how did you arrive at that powerful scene? What informed you?
My first answer is my husband calls me prophetess.
You really did prophesy though, because oh my God, I got angry all over again at my own neighbors, in the Sorry, go ahead. Wow.
What I'd like to say is George Floyd did not happen in a vacuum. This has been happening. Trayvon Martin, these things have been happening. And another thing that really spoke to me is sometimes I hear Africans make certain comments. Some people will be like, oh, they're African American, that's why this happened. And I can't emphasize it enough. We are all one family. We are all Black. It doesn't happen because the person is African American. When you're pulled over, nobody's going to ask you, are you from Nigeria? Are you from Gambia? No, you're blackity, 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 black.
That's it.
And so it was also meant to educate ourselves that wherever you're from, that if you're African American, you know that we are together in this, and there's love between all of us. Black girl magics, Black excellence, brown boy joy, everything. We are all the same. And for our sisters and brothers that are from Africa, to also let them know that we have to stick together. And then from our our sisters and brothers from all around the world, just like we have the Avivas and the, every other character, the Jose's and the Russells in the book. We also get to know that, yes, together we can go far, and that this tribe is not in it alone. This race is not in it alone. It doesn't matter your gender, your sexuality, your race. We are in this together. The bottom line is we are humans from all around the world, one kind only, and that is humankind.
Wow.
Marjy, I have a question. Can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
So you're right. Jose, Russell, Aviva, Jane, Sasha, they all restore my faith in humanity. I want us to talk about Sally for a second.
Yes,
please.
That's where we were going, actually.
Sally.
Let's talk about Sally.
Like a prequel to talk about Sally's story before that moment. Okay, is Sally a villain, or is she a victim of her own upbringing, or somewhere in between? And how would you like the story for Sally to wrap up beyond the same elephant story?
Yes.
Sally, I would like to say, my mom's name is Sally, so she was mad at me for that.
Oh my God! I did that too.
And this is the thing. I like to use names that I can remember in my books, and so it's not about any person. But my mom was like, "Why would you do that? You couldn't find any other name."
Not a likable character.
Well, but there are so many Sallys in this world, and sometimes they're not even aware that they're doing those things, because our environment, our exposure, our upbringing, our mindsets, the stereotypes could affect us. There are people who say things to us without even thinking it through because it's their normal. For example, in my everyday life, I have a kid who is getting ready to go to college. And then I have this Caucasian person that I know who just flat out told me that he doesn't have a problem because of affirmative action. And she didn't even realize what she was saying. And then I said, how about the fact that he is actually qualified? Do you realize that he has busted his behind?
Yes.
I'm sorry. I was about to use a bad word.
But he worked hard. He's worked very hard.
How dare you? How dare you think that my kid is going to get in because he is Black? But then this person, and I know her, she's not saying it to be racist. She just really thinks that way. And she loves everybody. She hugs everybody. She will bend over backwards for me. But if I take it out of context, I will be so mad at her because how dare you say that? But then I'm not angry that she says that because she's spoken her truth. It is up to me to educate her and to tell her the history of affirmative action and what it does, and just so that she comes from a better place next time. And so that is the issue of Sally. If you read the book, you will realize that there are Sallys in your life. What do? You kill them with kindness.
Yeah.
Because if you're going confrontational all the time, they might not hear you. Because you know what? She had her mind made up. She was going to protect whoever she thought she was protecting. And there are people like that. There are people that are intimidated when they see a Black woman or a Black man. There are people who are immediately jump to conclusions if they see a Latinx person. They jump to these conclusions when they see an Asian, just thinking, oh, I just saw this Indian person, they're so smart. Or I just saw this Chinese person, they're going to break that math. It's just all these stereotypes. So there are so many Sallys in our lives. And it's up to us to help them broaden their lens. Now, mind you, it might not work all the time because there's some people that have thick skulls, and it might not work all the time. But this is just to educate our brothers and sisters who live in Africa, also for them to see that, you know, sometimes if I need to, for example, see a managing director at a company and my fellow Caucasian walks in, they're going to sit there and have me sit down and allow that Caucasian to go in. Or if I'm bidding for a contract and I have a fellow Caucasian, some of our Ghanaian or Nigerian or Cameroonian brothers and sisters are more likely to give the contract to that other person than me. This is, Sally could be in any shape or form. Sally doesn't have to be white. Sally doesn't have to be black. There are people out there who have certain mindsets. And I just think that by reading a book like Same Elephants, which is not confrontational, but very real, you know, it's a nice way, a soothing way of telling you, hey, I got to recognize and do things better, do things differently.
Yes. And I like how you built the personality of Sally. You were matter of fact about the events without necessarily villainizing her, painting her with a brush. And it's funny because knowing that your mommy is even called Sally, I know that's deep in the author's mind. Again, she wasn't looking to villainize this character. I think what you say is so true. Sally comes in all shapes, forms, colors, even in the black form, in Ghanaian form, right? It takes education and challenging, you know, notions,
right? Wow.
Break through the Sally phenomenon.
Wow. Which kind of reminds me of an incident that I went through. And you're right, Margie. Sometimes because of how we were brought up, we don't even recognize it when it's happening to us. And that's something else. I had a woman, or actually no, an older man. One time, you know, when I used to manage medications or, you know, sell medicine, he said to me, "You speak very good English." You know, where guys, please do not watch Margie's face. You speak very good English. And you know how it doesn't hit you because I don't even realize this man is being a Sally at that point. I just said, okay, thank you. And then he proceeds to tell me how I was a teacher in the Bronx, you know, and I taught for 40 years in the Bronx. You must be so happy to be here. And it still did not stick. It was after he left, one of my colleagues who is Spanish says, "I cannot believe you are so calm." I said, "What happened?" Did you not realize what just happened? And in all honesty, I really was like Sasha at that time. I really didn't see what happened until she kind of broke it down a little bit. And you know, the next time the man came in, I suddenly felt like a delayed anger and, you know, proceeded to maybe not even to my shame, and I'm not proud of this, I probably didn't serve him in my best capacity at that time because I said, oh, you know, and which brings me to the conversation I think we should have. Do you guys think, actually really, Margie, do you think it's time that we really, especially if you're an African and you're about to travel, is it time that we had something in, I don't know, immigration reform, something that really teaches people about these things, that you can expect this to happen, you know, and this is how to respond? Because Kia's response was so different from Sasha's because she had been taught. And so she knew how to, one, not anger the people who were holding the thing that could take their lives away, you know, her life, things like that. And we just, what do you think?
You know what? This is what we call microaggressions, and we miss it.
Yes.
Because of the way we've been programmed. See how I just said that sometimes when you're in a place like Ghana, and I know one of my cousins who was getting ready to start a business, had the capital and everything, was dressed in a decent way, was going to, had a meeting with the managing director of a bank, and the receptionist spoke to him harshly because there was somebody out there who was rather looking for money from the bank, whereas my cousin was looking to bring money to the bank, but she treated him better because he was the Caucasian. These microaggressions, we're not familiar with it. There are times that I guess our experience also teaches us some of these things. And I'm going to talk to the African community. Like the African community, when we travel abroad, sometimes we stay insular and we're with our own, and we go to the funerals and the outdoorings and the whatnots, and it's our community. And so we have traveled, but we're not really bringing in the other communities or looking at the culture that we live in. For example, we come from Ghana, and all we know is everybody, in order for everybody to do well, they have to go to Harvard or MIT. We don't even open ourselves to the chance that you can go to a state school and excel, or you can go to a community college even for free, maybe for your first 2 years and transfer, and you could still become somebody great. Because we are stuck in those stereotypes that we have. We have to open up ourselves. And by opening up ourselves, we learn about the culture of the places that we have decided to call home. And that also teaches us, and we will be able to notice these microaggressions, that are in our communities. For example, why would you, if you want to delegate a task to Marjorie, why would you think that she needs somebody to do that task with when everybody else that you delegated a task to is doing it single-handedly? Is it because she's Black? But you see, maybe Ghanaian Marjorie would accept it and smile and be grateful. But the Marjorie who has learned about microaggressions knows that the person probably didn't think of it, but in the person's psyche, they think that she needs to do it with that other person in order to be able to accomplish it. Or someone would say, "Oh, I love your hair. It's so beautiful." And you might think it's a compliment, but really it's like, "Oh, you were able to wear your hair like that in that outfit." Certain things that we usually don't think about. It's important for us to assimilate, learn about these other cultures so that we can adapt better, and also teach the people that we're in contact with, that we come across, that it's not okay. It's not okay.
I have a question about microaggressions.
Yes.
What's the best way to handle them? Because I found when I first moved to North America, and just like Sasha, I wasn't picking up on the microaggressions, but then some of my friends around me were. It exhausted me. It truly exhausted me to the point where I was getting so discouraged. So what's the way to deal with it? To point it out, or to kill with kindness, or point it out and then kill with what do you do?
Both. You point it out, you also kill it with kindness. I have found that by being confrontational, sometimes you don't make a headway.
Right.
But it's important to acknowledge that what they're doing, what that person is doing, or what they're saying is not right. Because if you don't respond to it, they will keep doing it.
Yes.
And so you be kind to them. You're not fighting with them, but let them know that it is not right. It is not okay. There are certain things that, and I don't want to see. Somebody could say this person looks so clean. What do you mean they look clean? You expected them to come in looking a certain way. And this goes to the upper echelons of society. It goes even to the presidency. There are things that sometimes people may say that they don't realize. They might think they're giving you a compliment. If you tell President Obama that he looks clean, you're probably thinking that his white shirt is crisp and yada, yada, yada. And so you're giving him a compliment. But it's not a compliment to say that he looks clean, because it's derogatory. And that it's some kind of a microaggression. So these are little things that we miss. But by assimilating and learning more, and also by giving our African American brothers and sisters a chance, instead of people having, maybe, for lack of a better word, their noses in the air, to think it is not them. It is you. What are you talking about? You blackity blackity black.
Yeah.
And you're here now. So lose that it's not me, and the fact that you're probably thinking about your home country, and when you go back, and spending all your resources on when you go back. No, you're here now. Don't forget to give back to your home country. And if you also intend to go back and live, it is your place to also teach the people around you. These things happen in Africa. It happens in the UK, in North America. It's everywhere. You go to Mexico, and there's some Latinx people who may not treat Black people fairly and make certain snide comments. It happens. It happens. It doesn't mean that the people are bad. Sometimes they just don't know any better.
Yeah.
And so we have to learn. And I believe that a book like Same Elephants, although it's a fiction, although it's a fictional novel, you read a book like that and you get an insight into, okay, maybe people don't say some of these things because they are bad. It's because they just don't know any better.
Yeah. And I like, sorry, go ahead, Abba.
Okay, sorry. I was just a couple of comments. Number one is, I don't know if you've ever had or hosted somebody to come and talk about microaggressions, on your podcast. That might be an idea.
Right.
Because I know I have a lot to learn. And not only, to understand what they are, understand how to identify it, and then what to do when you're faced with a microaggression. That would be something good. And then secondly, as we're talking about that, our friend Tina Kufuor, who hosts the Masterpiece platform, if you go on her website, I know she has, what she does on Facebook is just a part of her total vision. But I know she has a place where she wants to almost help immigrants assimilate. And so this will be a useful book, I guess, for people to read or to learn about and so on. So maybe in the future, there might be something you can do with her as well.
Wow, that's a powerful suggestion. Thank you. I love us because whenever we meet like this, we always, ideas just fly, and then suddenly there's another project and there's another project. So, like that's how we do, like Marjy says, it's a movement. You know what I mean? But I wanted to flip it a little bit. We just have a few more minutes, but to flip it a little bit, the other thing I also learned was the fact that like Marjy said, we kind of just be in our own little communities that we don't even know how to also relate with other people based on their experiences and their cultures. And I'll give you an example. Again, when I was, selling medicine, it was a Jewish community. And whenever the men would come to buy medicine, one, they wouldn't look you in the face. And it seemed almost rude because I didn't know. They wouldn't look you in the face. And they would never give you their money hand to hand. They always put it on the counter, and you had to go and grab it and all that. And for a while it bothered me. And so I made a comment one time, and one of my colleagues says, no, that's the Jewish way. Especially if they're married men, they're not supposed to look at other women. It had nothing to do with the fact that I was Black. I had lived with you're black so much. I just thought, why are all these, people who are Jewish and white just being rude? All of them are rude. Not even one of them is nice. But it turns out it was a cultural thing. It was a religious thing to them. That's just how they are. They've lived that that's all they've done. And so after I learned that, it didn't feel like an insult anymore. It just felt like that's them.
And even as you say this, that's another message that is latent in Same Elephants. It is that even as much as we want them to understand us, right, and want to know the issues, we also have to learn to understand other cultures. That's the whole point. What drives Rukia? What drives Aviva? What drives Jane? Everybody has a backstory. Everybody has somewhere they came from. And we need to understand, to be able to really, I guess, get along with somebody, you must first understand. Seek first to understand, I guess.
Yes.
That was a powerful message as well in the book.
Yes, yes.
You know, and seeking to understand is like Jane's backstory and how she became an atheist.
Yes.
All that she had gone through, because you're a Christian and you're judging someone for being an atheist, but you don't know why they are an atheist.
Yes.
It doesn't just border on color, it borders on all our differences and how important it is for us to understand each other. But it doesn't mean that Marjorie understands everybody. Oh,
Yeah.
girl, I can throw shade. And you saw sometimes my face even says it all. I'm not perfect. And I'm sure that there's so many people like me out there. The fact that I'm preaching this and I'm writing about it doesn't mean that I don't slip. There are days that I slip. There are days that I don't have patience for the bull that somebody may be saying. But I'm a work in progress. I'm
Absolutely.
trying. And that's what we should all do. And Zoe was very right when she made that comment about the Jewish men. Sometimes we're thinking so much about things in our little box, or we're pigeonholed into having a certain idea that we don't see the big picture, that, oh, there might be a reason why this was done, or there might be a reason. It's not because I'm Black.
Yes.
Or it's not because I'm Latino. Yes, there is another reason. There are other merits to this situation. And so, yes, it goes both ways. We're learning. Other people are learning. Together, we can get better, and we can all make mistakes as we travel this life journey.
Absolutely. And it reminds me of something I read in a Joyce Meyer book. She said something along the lines of, you never have enough information to place a judgment on somebody.
Yes.
So if we all have that attitude, right, and understand that ultimately we are same elephants, let's just start there. We share a common humanity. The rest of it's about seeking to understand where someone is coming from. And I think if we do, then we can enhance our relationships and hopefully make the world a better place. So thank you for writing that book. It was awesome.
Thank you. I don't want us to, this is a very important conversation, but I love the way the book ended. So let's just kind of like do a hop, which means that you have to get the book. Of course, the book is available on all the other platforms and all the places where you can get books, especially if you live in North America, and other parts of the world. You can get the book, Amazon, all those places, but we ultimately want you to get it at Book Nook. There's a hidden reason for that. And one day we might tell you, okay? But I want us to jump to the end of the book. Again, I feel like Marge was like a prophetess. That whole plane scene was just like, I said, that's like a manifest. For those of you who watched Manifest.
Yes, that's exactly what I was thinking too.
What is going on? My heart was pumping again.
Yes.
But before we go into that, because that's the fun part, just so we can end on a lighter note, let me tell you a little bit about Marjy's other skill, which is a skilled interviewer, a skilled chat show. Is that what we say? Chat show?
Talk show host.
Show host. Oh God, y'all need to help Baraka today. So let me play this beautiful video that Marj and her team put together to introduce you to Humanity Chat. We'll be right back. Wow.
That's a new one. I haven't seen the new that new trailer. Awesome job.
Awesome. She always just brings, so that's the fun part of March that I really, really love, because, and again, we're not going to do spoilers, but there's a celebration that happens at the end of the book. And I think you should read it to see the celebration. But there's a part where all the friends travel from different parts of wherever they are in America or in the world, and they come together and there's a celebration. And, I felt like I said, oh my God, this could be my life. She describes this whole scene, in Maui when she's driving and the coconut incident. Um, and the fact that alone was a cultural breakthrough because the man gave you a straw. See how I said you, because I'm thinking Sasha is all of us. But she says, bro, please, I'm just gonna like swig this because that's what we do, where we come from. Everything was so familiar and so fuzzy and so nice. And of course, there's that scene where Russell comes and, touches her, and she just knows whose touch that was. There's this beautiful love scene that is woven in. As I'm smiling because I said, where are the Russells in this world? I need some of those. And
in the movie, I think they should do electric slide at the end, all of them.
Yes, absolutely. All of them. And she describes how Jane dances with her two left feet, but
yes, even Jane.
And then there's a love story brewing for Jane herself. And what a beautiful way to end. And I really did not want it to end. Why did you do this to us, Marj? Why?
Well, I'll say this. In my first book, The Shimmigrant, when it ended, people were mad. And same elephants, I had that same reaction. But the story of Sasha and Russell goes on, and the story of Kia goes on. So there is more to come. We always have to leave a little bit for the next edition. And so stay tuned. We're working really hard, and you would love, 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 love these upcoming stories.
Oh, I cannot wait. Yes. I cannot wait. That was just the height of everything. And let me tell you, can I make a confession? I really actually read this book twice in 1 week. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. After it ended, you know how you watch a series, you love it so much, the moment you finish the last episode, you go right back and start episode 1, season 1. That's what I did with this book. I finished it and I wrote so much in there. Please don't treat your books like that, but I did. And then right after I sat in, I was like, wait, let's go back and see how this started, And so first I want to thank you for taking time to write this book, such an important book that has fostered a lot of very important conversations. I know there's a lot of people who have been educated. I know I was, who have also dreamt through you, knowing that no matter where you've come from, especially if you read The Shimmigrant first, you can go far and you can do it and you can make it. You just have to know the right steps to take, and that it's okay to have friends around you to help you along the way. Even the way y'all became friends in the book, you didn't really necessarily even want to be friends, but you were open. And I'm saying you as because I'm thinking Sasha is... But it's not Marjy, it's all of us. The way we become friends with people, sometimes we don't want to be friends with those people. We just want to mind our own business, get a little food and get out. But we have to be open to the orchestrations of a higher power, which kind of brought these amazing women together. Girl power all the way. And of course, we had the supporting character of men who were men. You know what I mean? So thank you for writing it, and thank you for coming on here and just talking to us about this. I'm going to give Lady Abba, the chance to tell us something very short, like what did this conversation do for you? And I know you said some things that you would like to see happen, but speak to our audience for just a little bit.
Guys, this book is brilliant. This book is genius, and the more we're having a conversation about it, I'm seeing just the brilliance of the author in putting this book out. I think it's a rare talent to be able to take issues that are so important, and then weave it around such attractive characters, right? Such mesmerizing characters and storylines. That's not only are you just engaged in all of these characters, but then you're learning at the same time. This is brilliant. And I know that I'm a better person for having read Tame Elephants. I just want to say, everyone, go out and buy the book, and then
Yes,
stay tuned for the next one, because
absolutely.
you will learn. So thank you, Margie, for writing this book. I think it's absolutely awesome. It's,
Mm.
it's it's such a beautiful, simple read. You can probably sit down and in an afternoon get through it,
Yes,
and then
and
say,
then go back
"Wow,
to
I've
it
been
again.
educated. I've been educated."
Yes.
Mhm.
Wow.
Indeed,
Wow.
indeed. So yeah,
Well,
I love it. May
well,
I see a movie too? But
You were in
thank
our
you.
conversations because I said that to her. I said to Marge, I think it read like a movie, and my filmmaker brain just kept saying, "Wow, this scene would be this way, and that scene would be that way." And so maybe that's a project that we can talk about, you know, somewhere down the line. But
yeah.
go ahead, Marge.
Well, thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity to come onto my younger self to talk about my writing. It's been a blessing in my life to be able to write these books. And, my show, Humanity Chats with Margie, actually originated from the books because in the books, I have the human oath, which talks about us being one kind only, and that is humankind.
Yeah.
And that is the result of me having humanity chats where we talk about everyday issues that impact humans. I'm so grateful to everybody who joined us today. I would implore you to go to any of the major podcast platforms, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Subscribe to Humanity Chats. We
Mhm.
have these conversations on Thursdays. You can always listen to the past episodes, and we talk about everything ranging from these social issues to domestic violence to how to achieve your dreams. It's everything that we talk about. Some issues or episodes may not be relevant to you, but you can skip through and you definitely, out of the 122 episodes out there, you're definitely going to find something that would speak to you. And I cannot wait to bring you Sasha and Russell's story, and of course Kia's story, which is also a different book. So these two books are in the works, and
Wow.
I'm so grateful. I can't wait for the books to find a home.
Mm.
So if you know any literary agents out there that would love my book and give me that big fat advance, hey, connect
I
me,
love
okay?
it. Love
Thank
it.
you. Thank you all so much. I really appreciate you. The books are everywhere. Books are sold.
Mhm.
Book Nook store would ship worldwide.
Yeah.
And so go find the books there. If you are somewhere that you think you would have faster access, if you want to go on Amazon, it's available. It's also available at all your local independent bookstores. If they don't have it there, they can always order it. Um, and once you read the book, leave a review. It's so important for others. When you're going to buy a vacuum cleaner, you want to see the stars so you
Mhm.
can make the decision. Well, the same with these books. Help us authors, so that others can learn about our work. I'm so, so grateful. I feel like I've been talking, talking, talking. It's Same Elephants
Yeah.
and Shimmigrant.
Yes.
Shimmy,
Yes.
shimmy.
Oh,
Yes,
let's do
yes.
that. Let's do it and show it again. March, put it up again. Let's do it. This is one of the, this is, I'm so excited for this show because we get to showcase without shame. This is us. This is what we're doing. This is Africans with our voice. And we are all same elephants, yes, but this is so close to my heart. I really, really want all of the resources to go back to Africa. I want our authors to do well. I want our writers to do well. Please help us help each other. You know what I mean? So do me a favor, go, like Margie said, go and get the books and please leave a review wherever you can find this book. I mean, you can find them anywhere, you know. And she already gave you all the information, so I'm kind of not, like now rambling because I don't have anything else to say. But guys, Thank you for hanging in there with us. I see all of you, the comments that were coming through. This conversation in particular was so important that I didn't even get a chance to read some of the comments that were flying through. Thank you so much. Please share this particular series. Share it on your platform. Share it on your personal pages. Share it on your social media handles. Let's continue the conversation. Of course, find To My Younger Self on YouTube. Please help us help each other. So subscribe to My Younger Self and Humanity Chat. Subscribe to Lady Abuzz. Lady Abba, can you tell us what your podcast is?
My podcast is called Hope Mongers. Again, it's found wherever podcasts are streamed. And we interview hope mongers, people who are making a difference. And so that's where we, come from. Yeah.
Yes.
And I have some interesting things planned for this year as well. So it's called Hope Mongers, and it's on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever podcasts are streamed. Just Google it or look for it and you'll find it.
Wow.
And Lady Abba has a book too, Reflections of a Hope Monger.
Indeed.
You'll find that you actually, when you go into To My Younger Self and you go, a little down, going through the videos, you will see we've had 2 fantastic reviews of her book, The Hope Monger. We are part of the Hope Monger team and Hope Monger community. Our Hope Mongers ourselves, because she drafted us in, and it's just such a wonderful conversation. And today we really wanted to throw light on Same Elephant and of course Marjy Marj. I like to call her the Oyabun of everything literally. I know she's but guys, I am so grateful. Thank you for joining us. God bless you. Go out there and be the difference. Go out there and show kindness and be the very best version of yourself. From myself, Zoe Baraka over at TMYS, and of course, Marjy Marj of Humanity Chat, the Same Elephants, the Shimmigrant, and of course, from Lady Abba of the Hope Monger podcast and Reflections of a Hope Monger. We would like to say a very big thank you. We love you dearly. Thank you for joining us, and we will see you soon. Okay? All right. We're going to sign out now. Bye-bye.
Moko school, my bye.